Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale with a very special first-time guest, ThatOneGuy. ThatOneGuy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I am doing very well, man. It is a big day. It is meta change day. Actually, yesterday, at the time that you guys are seeing this recording, we're doing this at night. Should go out tomorrow morning. But either way, I reached out to you. You've never been on the channel, but frankly, you probably should have. You're a beast when it comes to Expo. You've been on Buffaretti's YouTube channel many times, frequently highlighting your like 20+ win grand challenge streaks. I've never seen a guy who wins as many grand challenges as you do. So welcome to the channel, man.
Thanks, man. It's great to be here.
No prob. We're going to be talking about this new meta variation of Expo, and man, it looks so strong right now. You can just tell it has like the newly buffed mini P.E.K.K.A, the newly buffed Ice Wiz. It still has the incredibly powerful Executioner Tornado combination. It's a little bit more expensive, but before we get into, this is going to be a Final 3 episode. Right now, you're sitting at 9 Grand Challenge wins, and hopefully we can get to 12 live on this video. But first, tell us a little bit about the deck and how it works.
All right, so most of the Expo decks right now have Mini P.E.K.K.A and Ice Wizard newly buffed, and I think they're both very strong. But what I'm seeing with most decks is they're weak to air. They'll usually have Ice Wizard and then Bats or Ice Spirit. They just don't have air counters. So that's where the Executioner Tornado comes in, and it makes it a lot stronger against air, but it also makes it more expensive.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Besides those 4 cards, you have your standard Expo, Fireball, Log, and Ice Golem. Your Ice Golem, the tank for the Expo. Yeah, continue what you were saying.
Oh, I was going to ask you, because it's a little bit more expensive, how does that change the way that you play it, both in single elixir and then going into double elixir time?
The only time it really changes the deck I've noticed is when you're going to spell cycle down a tower.
Okay, and under those circumstances, how does that change?
Usually you end up spending 1 or 2 more elixir when you're cycling through your cards to get to that fireball.
Okay.
Yeah, but
and when you're playing the Expo in this deck, 2 questions about the win condition, obviously. How often are you playing it defensively with this deck? It seems to be a pretty robust defensive deck as is, so you wouldn't really need to rely on the Expo a ton, I'd imagine. Is that right, or am I wrong there?
If I have a big tower lead, say up a full tower and have at least 1,500 health left on both of my towers, then I'm gonna probably try and defensive Expo and just stop them from taking any tower at all.
Okay, I like that. And last question before we hop into the matches here is, do you think there's one thing out there, maybe watching more novice Expo players like me, is there something when you watch like average Expo players that you think, man, everybody does this wrong, or everybody goes about this the wrong way, or it's just a common mistake, I guess? Is there something that you can kind of pinpoint, or is it just a series of little mistakes?
Just in general with Expo, I think people don't know when to use their spells to support the Expo. I'll
Okay,
see a lot.
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I'll see a lot of people throw down like an Expo, and then they'll just wait. Like what I always do when I know someone is running like a deck with a lot of cheap cards, I'll be hovering my log right over the Expo. So as soon as you see like an Ice Spirit or Goblin Gang drop, you just let it go.
Okay, great. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty... how about the Expo when you're playing it? Are you playing like a naked Expo, or would you prefer to have, or I should say a naked Expo, are you playing like Expo Ice Golem, or would you prefer to have like a defense first so you have some supporting troops, or play like an Ice Wizard in the back to set up the Expo?
I prefer to, if I already know what deck they're playing, I prefer to defend with Executioner, Executioner Tornado, and then Expo in front of the Executioner.
Okay, and is Expo ever going to be a smart starting play?
Only if they pump up or drop, say, a Golem, Giant, or P.E.K.K.A in the back behind their King Tower.
Fantastic. Let's get into the matches, man.
All right, searching for a match right now.
All right, we're in.
All right, so I started with Executioner, Expo, Fireball, and Tornado. And so, like all these cards, you don't want to play blind, so I'm going to wait for him.
Okay. He opts to cycle.
I'll let Ice Spirit hit before I play anything. Okay, so he drops a Bandit in the back.
What do you think about the bandit not receiving a nerf? You okay with that?
I'm fine with it
Yeah.
personally.
Likewise. Have you been seeing a lot of different off-meta decks when you're going through these challenges, or a lot of the same right now? Does it seem like people are starting to adjust or not?
People are definitely starting to adjust to this new meta. You can
Uh,
already see our best players, all the pro players, are using Expo decks or minor poison decks.
Also seeing a lot of those two cards that you're running, the mini P.E.K.K.A and Ice Wiz.
All right, I'm gonna try an Expo with this.
Okay.
Yep, knew that was going on there.
Nice. And this is
Minor
going to be a lock, I think. Ah!
Bandit
Yes!
comes just a second too late.
Awesome.
We're gonna protect that Expo because we need every bit of damage we can get.
Mm-hmm.
So we did take the lead in tower damage. I think he's up 1 elixir on me.
Do you feel like this deck gets better into double elixir time, or do you think it's about the same?
I feel like it's better if they don't have poison, but he does.
Mm-hmm. Is there ever a time that you switch lanes with an Expo deck, or you pretty much staying?
If I get like a bad starting hand and lose a bunch of damage on one side, I'll switch lanes to make them play to me.
Okay. Of course, I ask you about if you've seen any new decks, and of course we see a deck that we would never have seen before.
I keep putting that Expo 1 tile to the wrong side. There, we do get a lock right there.
Good. Why are you putting the Expo in the middle to begin with?
To make him spread out his poison.
Okay. So whenever your opponent has poison, that's what you're going to do?
Not always, but specifically minor poison.
Okay. Good game, man. I was a little
Thanks,
worried there for a second, but you really got that lock on and took off from there.
Yeah, that was a hard-fought one.
Mm-hmm. Looking back, do you think there was anything that you could have done differently to make it a little bit easier on yourself, or it was a pretty tough matchup to begin with?
I feel like I could have played a little better, but most of the fault was just in my cycle. Eventually, I came to Ice Wizard in 3 spells, and you really don't want to have that type of hand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How can you fix that type of hand? If you know you're getting into a bad cycle, is there a way to get out of it, or are you kind of trapped?
It depends on the deck they're running. In this deck, I was kind of... the only thing I think I could have done to change it was I could have probably blind logged his tower for damage, because he doesn't have any log bait in his deck, nothing that necessarily needs to be logged.
Okay. All right, let's hop into the next match, man. What would you say is the most difficult matchup? Is it like a beatdown deck, or is there something else?
Most difficult matchup I've encountered so far is just decks with Rocket.
Yeah. What do you do in those situations?
It usually depends on the skill of the player, but it's like if they're just a regular casual player, most of the time you can bait out their Rocket with an Executioner in the back. They'll Rocket the Exian Tower.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you're taking a risk, taking all that damage and only gaining 1 elixir, but if you can get that Expo locked on, that's game.
You're still not in a match, right?
Sorry, you asked a question and I went back to the
Oh,
deck.
okay. Just making sure. It's like, man, it has taken a while.
Okay, now I actually have been searching a bit.
Okay, cool.
Searching for counters.
Okay, so what if it is a skilled player with a Rocket? How are you? I mean, obviously you're going to be it's going to be a tough battle for you. What are you going to try to do? If they're saving that Expo for the Rocket.
I'm gonna try to draw the game.
Okay, that's probably an important topic to talk about. And when you mention drawing, I immediately think of ladder. So, are you a fan of Expo decks on ladder? I know you're like the Grand Challenge beast, but do you also play Expo on ladder?
Uh, yeah, I haven't recently because it's just been anti-Expo, but I think I'm definitely picking Expo back up this season. This guy might know me.
Okay. I'll let you concentrate on this match. What's your starting hand like?
Mini P.E.K.K.A, Tornado, Expo, Fireball,
Okay.
and I have Ice Wiz now instead of Mini P.E.K.K.A. So we see another bandit going down. This might be the exact same deck, actually. I lied.
Ooh.
Maybe not the exact same deck.
Yeah. Man, we're seeing like so many weird decks. Not weird, but just new. People are trying a lot of new stuff here. P.E.K.K.A Minor is something you don't usually see.
I thought that might have been a bad Ice Golem, but it did pick and picked up.
Do you think that Ice Wizard is now too strong? Is it too early to tell, or what's your thoughts on Ice Wizard?
I think it's perfectly balanced.
Awesome. Yeah, because the overall DPS is the same.
Doesn't kill. I didn't know. All right, so perfect.
Nice. It's great. Sometimes when you play that Expo, not everybody takes you for Tornado right away.
Exactly. That's the great part about this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to allow the Executioner to take the charge hit.
Awesome. Okay. And then you take out the Wiz. Sweet.
And he's still got to respond to that. Oh, I forgot he had bats. Well played by him. I just love this new interaction.
Isn't that beautiful? Ice Wiz one-shotting bats. It's really cool, though, because I really do feel like Ice Wiz and E-Wiz are now on like equal footing as far as strength.
Yeah, I'm surprised that that log didn't connect with the bandit. I even waited for her to get out of the dash animation. Yeah, I think they need to retouch just that, her invincibility, but everything else about her feels completely balanced.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people were calling for the nerf of the of Bandit, but I thought that she was really the least responsible culprit of bridge spam. I think it was mostly a Night Witch issue.
Night Witch and Battle Ram for sure.
All right. So we know he has poison. We're going to be putting the Expo right in the middle there, not allowing him any extra damage.
Oh, that was a very well played bandit.
Wow. If he gets I was going to say, if he gets a lock on that tower, okay. Oof. Ooh.
Ooh, that was...
Wow.
That was, if I got a hit, that would have been huge, but that's still very worth it.
Yeah, that was still nice on your part. How often in this deck do you find yourself relying on secondary damage, whether it be Fireball or a P.E.K.K.A, luckily getting to a tower or something like that? Is it mostly just Expo?
Usually at the end of almost every game.
Oh, okay.
Alright, he doesn't get the tower on that, so... Expo is definitely not making it through. Ooh, I just realized I can hit this.
Nice! I was just going to ask you, so at this point in the match, it looks like he's either going to always have P.E.K.K.A or always have some sort of a bandit spam type option. I'll let you, okay. So, are you shifting in your mind right now to focusing more on Fireball cycle, or apparently not? Got it. Well, I guess that answered my question.
Oh, that interaction, the bandit got pushed. Alright, so that only needs one more Fireball now. I suppose we can call that a prediction.
We'll take it, man. What is your record for challenges in a row?
At the very start of Grand Challenges, when Giant Poison was completely meta, it sounds unbelievable, and most people will probably just call BS in comments, but I won 114 in a row.
What? Oh, my word. You know what? I believe you because I just know how many different times I've seen you recently just showing off like 25 challenges in a row, no big deal, you know? And how the meta was back then, it's just like, yeah, I can totally see you doing that. So, yeah, you're definitely, I think that you're one of the most underrated, if that makes sense, because a lot of people know you. But at the same time, I just think that when they say the best Siege players in the game, oftentimes I don't think that you get the respect you deserve. So let's go. Let's with that big flattering statement. Let's try to get that 12th win.
Yeah, I'm searching right now. I feel
Oh,
like
okay, cool.
Pompeo and Turtwig Data
Yeah,
and
they're
Seema
beasts.
Q. I feel like they're the three most known for Expo.
Absolutely, yeah. And there wasn't that
Like,
there that guy Boom or something. He might be retired now.
boom, yeah, yeah. I haven't seen him recently. He may have retired. That
Yeah,
would be why.
yeah. It's going to be interesting. So there's going to be a lot more casual players, guys like Ash, picking
I'm
up Expo decks.
pretty
Give him a
sure I put this guy in a challenge, and that's why I did XC in the back.
Okay.
He was running Rocket the last time.
All right, sweet. So this is going to be one of those difficult matchups, and he made the he
But we
made the
already
mistake.
out the Rocket.
Yeah.
And Inferno Dragon in the back. I'm going to go ahead and Ice Golem up front.
Well,
Keep
nice
that
law,
Ice Whip
yeah.
alive as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just realized that,
Hey, you got a lot of chip damage down there. Now you just got to defend.
yeah, this Inferno Dragon's going to be a pest.
Yeah. You got him.
I'm really in spell cycle range already.
Yeah. So at this point, are you, if you have an early lead like this, are you going to play a little bit more defensively, or because he has the rock? Oh!
Yeah, but this is it's a weird Expo deck, but
I've seen a different variation, not this variation of it, but I've seen Inferno Dragon used quite a bit in Expo decks, but never.
yeah. So just a heads up, I think I've already lost this Expo with Rocket hard counters.
Yeah.
Unless it's 2.9 Expo with Rocket hard counters, Expo without Rocket.
So what are you thinking about right now? Are you thinking about possibly playing for a tie, or just trying to pick your spots, or?
Definitely not playing for a tie.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just gonna have to keep making him use his Expo, and then I'm gonna have to defend way better.
Okay. This deck, although it hard counters your deck, I do feel like overall it's not as strong against most decks as yours. So would you agree with that, or?
Yes, for sure. Actually, him having Inferno Dragon, his is just as strong against air as mine. Those were bad fire spirits. I could tell that wasn't gonna kill.
It's kind of tricky because at this point you just don't have the luxury of baiting out a rocket on tower, so you just have to do your best.
Exactly. I'm trying my best to deal with his Expo as well, not falling behind the Elixir.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well otherwise, but it's just okay. That was a good. Yeah, you can see, guys, how really difficult this is for that one guy to try to do anything here, because he's not able to outcycle certainly Rocket, and he has to worry about defending the other Expo without having that hard counter. But hey, might get a lock here. Good log.
I did defend his Expo without any damage.
Yep. Oof.
Yeah, I kind of worried when it
almost gave me a heart attack.
I didn't lock onto the Ice Whiz.
All right. That's one thing about being such a great Expo player, is that if there's anything you're good at, it's probably countering Expo, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because you know exactly what to do. One thing I noticed that you're doing quite often is using a log against an Expo if it's down to close to lower HP. Is that something you'd advise other people to do? I feel like that's a pretty good play.
Hold on, I am try-harding so much.
No, 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 yeah. Don't mind me. I never shut up. Come on, baby. 3 more cards, baby. Oh. You get the HP down. There it is! Boom! Beating the hard counter, baby. Good job, man.
That was a tough one.
Not only is it tough, and against a hard counter, and the 12th win. Can you just share the replay? And the 12th win of the Grand Challenge. But yeah, just we do this on this series just to make sure that no one's like, oh, it was only the 3rd win of the challenge, but I didn't show it, you know. But beat the hard counter, and had to deal with me chirping in your ear the whole time. So congratulations, man. That was a good job.
Thanks, man. That was a hard fought last game.
Absolutely. Well, dude, we're gonna cut this. You came what we said we would do. You came and you did what we said you would do. Got the 12th win live. Man, I've done 2 of these series, having pros on, trying the last 3 wins of a Grand Challenge. So far, knock on wood, no losses. So, any shout outs, anything like that before we let you go, man?
No, just shout out to all the other Expo lovers.
Nice. I'll include your Twitter information, stuff like that, on the in the description below. ThatOneGuy, thanks again for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. Make sure you check out my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. His information is in the description below. Really enjoyed this episode. Shout out to ThatOneGuy for coming on. Shout out to all of you guys for continuing, for watching and supporting the channel. It means the world to me, guys. And as always, take care, guys.